Would you like to see football wherever you are in the world?
With NordVPN, you can get premium protection online and set your location so you never miss a minute of the content you usually enjoy.
Go to nordvpn.com/TSUW to get 72% off a 2-year plan plus 3 additional months absolutely free. Hello and welcome to another Sheffield United Way match preview. How is it going, guys? Let us know in the comments right now, in the chat, how you're doing, how your Friday's gone. Just write something in the chat. Let us know that you're there. So we're going to be talking about Sheffield United versus Blackpool at 3 p.m. at Bramall Lane. And I'm going to say it again. And this time, I'm going to be right. You cannot watch this match anywhere in the UK, nowhere, unless you've got a VPN. And you know what? We've got a VPN just for you, NordVPN. You've just seen a little advert that we put together a while ago. But also it's in the links in the description. Go down there, click on the link. It's nordvpn.com/TSUW. I'm going to quickly bring Hal in. Hello, Hal. How do you do,
Hello. Sir? I'm good. They've got a Black Friday deal as well. So ideal just before the Blackpool game. If you want to get an even better discount on NordVPN, nordvpn.com/TSUW.
Exactamundo. And not just that, Hal. Also, we're going to bring up on screen the members because recently, Hal, they've been given access to something very, very special. And you know exclusive. Exclusive. Did I do it as well as you?
Not quite, but I have to say the video is incredibly juicy. Nick, tell us all about it.
It's Mr. 𝐍𝐸 Santos, and he talks about all things the Battle of Bramall Lane. He talks about his injury, which is, he went through a lot. And he obviously talks about Andy Johnson. Andy Johnson?
Yep.
It is Andy Johnson, isn't it? There's been a few Andy Johnsons in the past. I was just thinking then. Do
you remember Paul Devlin called him Andy Marshall all the way through the interview? I felt really sorry for that keeper. He's probably a lovely guy, but according to Paul Devlin, he smashed Santos in the weren't they a bald Andy Johnson as well that played for Everton? Yeah, and Crystal Palace, same guy, yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking a second, there's a lot of them. Anyway, not just that, we're not just going to talk about members and what they can get, because there's a load of stuff that they can get, and that is coming out soon. Also, mugs. I didn't think we'd have to peddle these so much. I thought they'd go straight away. There's only 25.
I know
that. We've got 4 left. I'm
selling like cold cakes.
They're selling like freezing cakes, actually. So there's a link in the description anyway to get those freezing cold cakes. So actually I had on my list saying, Hal, tell people about the 𝐍𝐸 Santos podcast, and you did it right back to me.
Done. And it is brilliant. So if you want to see it, become a member. The stuff he says in there, I'll be honest with you, shocked us, and he is not backing down.
Right. Well, you've just told him exactly what he said there.
Exactly.
Yeah. But you want to see it because you want to see why he thinks that.
Well, I'm not telling you what he's not backing down from.
I think
he's got an opinion. The years have passed. Nothing has changed. It's literally like it just happened last week. And I'm not even talking about the Battle of Bramall Lane.
No, you're not. You're absolutely
so
not.
By the way, something in there.
Yeah, let us know in the comments what you think to Hal's hair, by the way, because I think it's delightful this good evening. So anyway, we won't let you look at Hal for too long with his haircut. So we'll bring me up on screen, and I'm going to talk about the Barnsley game very quickly, obviously, very briefly. I was very frustrated in my match reaction after this game. That's why it's called a match reaction, because I'm reacting instantly after it's just happened. Wasn't happy in the slightest. Obviously, we let those 2 goals in. But let's just talk about the good things that happened. So obviously, we scored 3 goals. It was a really poor first half, but the second half, we scored 3 goals. 2 of them scored by 𝐍𝐸𝐫𝐍, who is, for me, our best striker at the club. We just need to keep him fit. I think 90% people think that 𝐍𝐸𝐫𝐍 is our best striker at the club. 10% probably Billy Sharp. But we all know how good he is. And him getting 2 goals, now being our second top goal scorer, is great. Ben Osborne, 3 goal contributions in this game, 2 assists, 1 goal, exactly what he needed, because I've been saying that he doesn't use the ball well enough in advanced areas. He certainly did in this game. We won a game without Morgan Gibbs-White. That's great, because Morgan Gibbs-White, for me, has looked like the player that's holding the attack together. So yeah, it was great to see us go to Barnsley, even though it was only Barnsley, and actually beat them without Morgan Gibbs-White, because yeah, we're going to need him all season. You're not having him back, Wolves. You can bugger off, no chance. And yeah, that's really all I'm going to talk about, Hal. So we'll bring you back in, and I will say to you, what happened last time out?
This is, of course, the last time that we played Blackpool, who we face a beautiful downtown Bramall Lane. And I've gone back to the last time we played them at home. So that's the 22nd of August, 2015. I'll take this again. A 2-0 win for the Blades. The attendance then, 20,199. They'll definitely be higher than that. It was a goalless first half. Blade striker Connor Salmon. Do you remember this? The famous miss from 5 yards. He fired wide. You can still find it, even as a GIF to this day on social media.
Can we just talk about Jamal Campbell-Rice and what he did before that as well?
Go on, go for it.
Fantastic down that right-hand side. Just made him look an absolute mug. Put the ball on a sixpence in the 6-yard box for Connor Salmon. Worse than Didsey's missed the other night? It's got to be.
I don't know about that. Right. I don't know, actually, because Didsey was closer.
Yeah, let me go. You carry on.
I'm a big fan, by the way, Connor, as Campbell-Rice. Or Connor Salmon. You nearly put words in my mouth. But I know Statsman Adam did not like Campbell-Rice. I wanted to get that in. But Billy Sharp met 𝐍𝐫𝐶𝐕𝐏𝐍's low corner with a right-footed drive for the opener. That was on the hour mark. And Sparky, Mark McNulty on 72, doubled the lead, a long-range effort. I always felt he was a really good finisher, but didn't really get enough minutes, and certainly was often the reason we apparently lost games, according to Nigel Clough. I just felt like he picked on McNulty a bit. Interestingly, Basham and Sharp both played for the Blades that day, and that was last time out.
Love that. Absolutely love that. And he did. He always blamed Mark McNulty for some weird reason. He always came on the radio and was like, yeah, Mark McNulty's fault. Why was it?
I don't know. Sometimes managers have the favourites, and equally, they have their Mark McNultys.
And Chris Wilder had his Mark Duffy's as well. Anyway, let's move on from that, Hal. We'll move on. Don't mention that ever again. Don't mention the war. Right, okay, so back from suspension. Morgan Gibbs-White. We love to see it. We can't wait. There's no way on this earth that Morgan Gibbs-White will not be starting this game. Fantastic player. Can't wait to see him back. We did miss him against Barnsley. That could have been a cricket score if Morgan Gibbs-White was playing. Injured, though. I'm going to come back to Hal in a second to talk about Sander Berge, because I'm fuzzy about it completely. But Luke Freeman should be back. Ollie Burke should be back. Rhys Davies should be back. I'm not sure if we care that much about any of them three, in all honesty. I don't think they are beating down Slav's door to get in the first team. But it's nice to have him on the bench. Ollie Burke obviously got that raw pace. You never know when you might need him. Luke Freeman could unlock the door at some point. You never know. And let's be honest, Ender Stevens not pulling up too many trees right now. So Rhys Davies could find himself back in the team before he knows it. Bogle's still out injured. I've not heard too much about Bogle, but Hal, let me bring you back in. Sander Berge, not going to be available until the next international break?
Well, after the next international break. I mean, the guy had one of the worst injuries an athlete can suffer. We're talking a grade 3 hamstring injury. That is the hamstring detaching, away from the bone. That means he's probably going to have issues now as an athlete forever with that hamstring. And that's a disaster for Sheffield United for a number of reasons. And of course, for Sander as a poor lad, just going to be really something that's going to constantly, I think, a bit like Michael Owen. Do you remember when his raw pace was what he was about, then his hamstring went. He was never quite the same again. Now, I really hope that doesn't happen for Sander, but it's always a possibility that could be in the back of his mind. Even if it isn't going to go again, it might be a mental thing. It's a long recovery process, and it seems like, because this is the one we're talking about, is when he got injured against Manchester United. It seems like perhaps he was maybe rushed back, or something was tweaked in that warm-up against Hull, and the poor fella is back suffering, which is not what you want at his age and at his stage. I don't believe there's any conspiracy theories about people saying he's been kept away to be sold. I don't actually think too many clubs would want to buy him, unfortunately, now with this injury history. He's got to prove his fitness.
Yeah, it was a freak injury as well, wasn't it? There was nothing bad about it. It just pulled up, and then, I don't even think they knew at the time how bad it was.
He walked off, with a hamstring detached from the bone. I mean, the guy's got an incredible heart. He's strong, and he's in a foreign country. He's had a pandemic to deal with. He's surrounded by only George Bulldog. None of his family, and he's had to deal with this as well. I really feel for him.
Only George Bulldog. George, if you're watching, I love you, mate. I
love him too.
No, you don't. No. None of that. But anyway, Sander. We don't want to see another Jack O'Connell, do we? Really, because he barely came back for any games, didn't it? And then it's this international. Slav said he'll be back after last international break, and then it's now next international break.
It's not too far away, the next international break. Let's be fair, but it's probably what they can say is their marker points. Because actually, you don't want to put too much pressure on a player, and maybe he could be coming back sooner, but you don't want to say that. It's a bit like when you say to your wife, like, "Oh, I'll be back at 11," knowing full well you'll be back at 10:30, because then you're in the good books.
What? No, normally I'm like, "Oh, I'll be back at 10," and then 1 o'clock in the morning I turn up.
Yeah. Well, I always say I'm going to be back later than I really intend.
Well, that's because you're a sensible man. Stop being so sensible. That's a sensible haircut as well, isn't it?
I'm not going to have this tomorrow when I see it. It's going to be totally different.
Yeah, good. That's what we like to hear. Anyway, I'm going to bring up my team on screen, Hal. There we go. And I'm not doing no song titles. Nobody cared. No one put anything in the comments. We're just going to go through the team. So Robin Olsen in the goal. Obviously, there's no one else that's going to go in the net. We're probably paying him an absolute bomb. But let's be honest, if Olsen was League One Wes, I think he might have been out of the team by now. But Olsen didn't do anything wrong in the last game against Barnsley. So stays in there for me. Baldock at right back had an okay game, was poor defensively, but was decent going forward, and obviously made the goal for Osborne, which is brilliant. So Baldock obviously keeps his place. Egan and Davis, funny pairing. I'm not going to go on too long, but I'm not sure if they are the best two possible defenders to play together. Basham for me should. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that because I'll get absolutely rinsed in the comments. But just for me, Egan and Davis, I'm not sure how well they play together. Stevens at left back, like I said, he's not been great recently. But I do like him going forward. I prefer him going forward than Reece Norrington-Davies. So I'd like to see him carry on there. Fleck and Norwood, neither of them have pulled up many trees. Norwood's been better as of late. Fleck, I don't know what's happened. We've got Jimmy back, it seems. But hopefully in this next game, he'll drive us forward like he always has done. And we'll get a bit more out of Fleck. Morgan Gibbs-White obviously comes straight back in because he's such a great player. And Dye, for me, I think he played well against Barnsley. Obviously came off again. It would be nice to see us get 90 minutes out of him at some point. But them two again together at Bramall Lane, you love to see it. And Osborne, obviously, he's going to play there. 3 goal contributions in the last game. His confidence is going to be sky high, just like the striker that I put up top, 𝐍𝐸 𝐸𝐸. We're not 100% sure whether he will start up top. Obviously, he came off in the last game. But Slav says that he's free of injury. So
last French player, Nick, to play 90 minutes. Something to think about because John 𝐍𝐸𝐽 got injured in his debut. Christian Narde never seemed to play 90 minutes. Ndai doesn't play 90 minutes. 𝐸𝐸 doesn't play 90 minutes. Last French player to regularly play 90 minutes for the Blades. Throwing it out there.
Oh, that's a tough one.
I know. I don't know the answer myself.
Jean-Philippe Javre.
He never played 90 minutes.
I was just trying to think of anyone. And do you know what? I'm not 100% sure he was French, but with a name like that, he sounds a bit French.
Oh, he's definitely French.
Yeah, good. That's what I like to hear. Anyway, so I'll stop talking and I'll let Hal tell you all about the Blackpool team.
So there's a few injuries for them, and some of them I think are going to benefit the Blades. Kevin Stewart, who was once a target for United, he's out. Shane Lavery, He's ruled out with a hamstring injury, and he's their main threat. He's their main goal-scoring danger man. And I know you're probably going to think, is he any relation to Caolan Lavery? Well, we're all related, but no. He's not a direct relative. Reece James and former Blades youth player 𝐍𝐨𝐫𝐝 likely unavailable with foot problems. Hamilton has been back in training this week. He had a screw sorted out in his foot from a previous injury. Grant Ward, Achilles injury. Chris Maxwell, a muscle injury. Matty Virtue's got a knee injury. 3 more players who are not going to make the trip. Luke Garbutt and Sonny Carey could both come back in. But I think it's going to be, and by the way, they play a 4-4-2. In goal, Daniel Grimshaw, James Husband, Richard Keogh. This one's a tough one for me. Marvin Ekpiateta. Nice. Jordan Gabriel, thank you. Keshi Anderson, Kenneth Dougal, Ryan Wintle.
Kenneth Dougal.
It's a great name, isn't it? It's not a footballer's name, that. Josh Bowler, Jerry Yates, and I've done this in the Gary Sinclair style. And last but not least, Gary Medine.
Goal machine.
I actually think it's the first time he'll ever get a decent reception at beautiful downtown Bramall Lane.
I don't want to give. I didn't like him. I didn't
like him either. I'm going to boo him. Actually, no, I'm not going to boo him. I'm not going to boo him because every time I did that, he always scored against us. I'm just going to completely ignore him. I am completely ambivalent.
And where we are tomorrow, no, you're not. You're not booing him from there.
Oh, we're showing off.
No, we're not.
All right, we're not going to say it.
Just throwing it out there. By the way, Hal, I just want to ask. You mentioned all those Blackpool players, but where is Charlie Adam and where is DJ Campbell? Where are they in that list?
I know. I mean, Ian Holloway must have some headache about what they're going to do. Of course, yeah, they're doing actually all right this season. They're 11th in the table. They've won 6. They've lost 5. So, fairly inconsistent. They've scored 17. They've conceded 18. So that's a -1 goal difference. That's the same as the Blades have also got a -1, but we've scored 20 and conceded 21. We're both as inconsistent as each other, but we've just gone down. They've just gone up, and they've won more game than we have. So that's where we currently sit.
They've just gone down. We've just gone up. No, it's the other way around, isn't it? Anyway, score prediction.
The other way around. Yeah, Neil Critchley's their manager as well. I didn't quite mention that. I was going to say, because we're both teams that score and letting goals. I do think this might be one of the goaliest games of the season, or it could be an absolute snooze fest like the first half against Barnsley. I'm really not sure. I want to say a Ben Osborne hat trick again, but I can't quite bring myself to say it. So I'm going with 2-1 Blades, but I do see them scoring, even though Lavery's out.
What, Caolan Lavery out for us? Let's not. I was going to say 2-1 Blades, but now you've said that, I'm going to go 3-1 Blades, just to be different.
Okay.
There's no point in us doing 2-1s across the board. Anyway, let's get into play connections, a.k.a. played for both. So, Hal, who do you want?
Let's go with the current player. I mean, Statsman Adam and I were talking about players that played for the Blades and Blackpool earlier. We came up with 25. So no pressure, Blades fans. But if you can, in the comments, put your played for both. I'm going to go with Jackie Longthrow because I'm a big fan. So here he is. As you know, we met him outside Luton away. And there's Luke straight away. He was there as well. And Jackie Longthrow, I mean, he's probably fondly remembered more with Tangerines fans than he is with Blades, because let's be honest, he hasn't set the world alight since he's joined. With Blackpool, he was there between 2013 and 14 on loan from Liverpool, played 34 times. With us, he's only played 22. Never scored for them, never scored for us. That's all you can say.
Yeah, well.
Don't know why I picked him, actually.
Enjoyable, Hal. Thanks for that.
Thanks.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on the same lines as you, Hal, somebody that's currently playing for the Blades, Christopher Basham. He's quite similar to Jack Robinson, whereas they're both massive legends of the club, aren't they, Hal? Yeah, okay. Well, Chris Basham, for me...
looks so young.
Statue. Give him a statue. I absolutely love Chris Basham. And obviously, 85 games for Blackpool, 5 goals in that time. He hasn't got as good a goal to game ratio for us, but that is because he played for Blackpool mostly in centre midfield. Obviously, he came to the Blades as a central midfielder, but then Chris Wilder, not Chris Basham, made him into this right centre-back overlapping doodah that created lots and lots of goals. I don't know where doodah came from. But 287 games from Chris Basham for the Blades, 11 goals. And I'm sure he's remembered as, well, not as fondly for Blackpool as he was for the Blades, Hal.
I'm going to leave you alone on the doodah nonsense. I'm going to say Cabba Dabba Doodah is where I'm going next. Steve Cabba Dabba Doo. As you can see him there, scoring against Leeds and then also in a Blackpool shirt. So he played for the Blades first before he went to Blackpool. We signed him after he was on loan at Grimsby from Crystal Palace. I was at this night game and we gave him a standing ovation because he did really well when he was on loan at Grimsby. And that's all Warnock needed, was to see a striker play well against Sheffield United, and he'd sign him. He played 78 times for the Blades, scored 18 goals. That's his best goal return for any club he played for. He then went on to Watford. Then he had a loan spell at Blackpool. 17 times he played there, scoring 2 goals, once against the Blades. At a game we won 3-1. I was there. That was at Bloomfield Road, trying to remember the name of their stadium.
You weren't there, we are.
I know, I get to some games.
You're always there. PCP in the mud. One thing I will say about that, I tweeted the other day about Cabot, Webber, and Shipperley and said, how many would these score in this team? And I loved all 3 of them.
Yeah.
At least 2 or 3 people hated at least one of them. I don't get it. Webber was quality. Cabot was quality. Shipperley was quality. Maybe not as much recently. But yeah, we won't even get into that. What we'll do instead, we'll talk about one of our best loan signings ever. Oh. What a player Matt Phillips was. He came on loan actually from Blackpool because he suffered an injury and they were trying to get him back to match fitness. He was quite clearly way better than League One standard. He only played 6 games for us, scoring 5 goals. And we remember him as one of the best ever loan signings. That is crazy. First of all, 5 goals in 6 games is crazy anyway. But the fact that we still think of him as that and he only played 6 games is just phenomenal. Yeah, if it hadn't been for Dean Henderson, you'd still be talking about him as one of the best loan players Sheffield United ever had. Yeah, Panos Retsos as well up there. Obviously, Ricardo 𝐍𝐸𝐽𝐸. How could we forget? Yeah. You're always banging on about Scott Marshall and David Lee. Oh, I'm sick of hearing about David Lee and Scott Marshall. But no, actually, a lot of people, when we mentioned Dean Henderson saying that he's the best, a lot of people mentioned Glyn Hodges, but just slightly before my time. Yeah, fair one. Well, I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. We're not going to show off, but hopefully we do see 1 or 2 of you in the rain. Yeah, you'll probably find someone, definitely. It's going to mess my hair up, you know. Oh, yeah, that's true. It's looking pretty perfect right now. Right, thank you, Hal, for being here as always. Thank you, Bobby, in the background, because he is here. He's 17 years old, and he was 17 yesterday. Oh, yeah, happy birthday. Happy belated birthday, Bobby. We should say it on here. Yeah, top man. Happy birthday, big boy Bobby. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you next time.